Hey folks, it's Jeremy Whaley here from Trade Maestro, and today I want to talk a little bit about stock options, but in a different way than most people talk about it. Most people are pretty comfortable with the idea that you use stock options as a way to make money with leverage, right? You buy a call option, it's going to make money when the stock goes up. You buy put, it makes money when the stock goes down. People do that all the time. But what a lot of people don't realize is stock options actually have another side of the trade that is really more of what they were created for, and that is as a hedge. Now, that's a fancy way of saying insurance. So you could say that I'm going to talk to you today about buying stock insurance with your stock options. And it's a way that people use options every day, but the average everyday retail trader usually doesn't even think about it this way. So let's talk a little bit about what is it when we buy stock options as an insurance tool. Now, you might already know there's two types of options that you can buy. There's call options and put options. A call option gives the buyer the right but not the obligation to buy a specific stock at a specific price on or before a specific date. That is a call option. We can simply say it is the right to buy a stock. Now, why would we use the right to buy a stock? Well, let's imagine that a stock is going up and you have the right to buy it at a cheaper price. You say that would be worth a lot more. So you buy the call option as leverage as the trade is going up, and you say, I can use that to make money. That's buying a long call option. People do that all the time. There's a flip side of that, which I'll talk about in just a moment, where we can use that as a hedge. Now, the other type of an option is the put option. And a put option is going to give the buyer the right but not the obligation to sell a specific stock at a specific price on or before a specific date. So you can just sum it up and say a put option is the right to sell a stock. Now, again, as the stock goes down, people say, hey, I'd like to sell it at a higher price. So people buy puts to make money when the stock goes down instead of shorting it. And that's very common. But did you know you can use this as an insurance tool? And that's what I want to talk about right now. So let's come over here to our charts and let me lay out a situation for you. Let's say you're trading Apple, and it doesn't matter. I'm just using Apple as an example. But let's say you're trading Apple and it's been in a nice bullish trend as it has been here, and you're starting to get a little nervous, right? So you're looking at it, and as of this video right now, it's trading for $268.81 a share. And you start to think to yourself, my goodness, if this thing tanks, I am toast. I got all this money in it. I got this profit in it. What can I do? What can I do? Well, you can just buy and hold, pray. That's what most people do. Hold on for dear life if you're trading crypto, right? Or what if you came in and you said, you know, in the event that Apple goes down, I have the right to sell it up here at this price. We'll just annotate this RTS, right to sell. If you have the right to sell at a specific price, that is a put option. A put option is the right to sell. And what that does when you own a long stock and you come behind it and you buy a long put as insurance, if this trade goes down, you have the right to come back and sell it at that price. So it's different than a stop order. A stop order says to sell my stock if it comes down and hits this price. With a long put as an insurance, what it does is it offsets any losses. So you can actually continue to hold Apple all the way to the bottom. I mean, it could literally go to zero. If you had a put option and you had the right to sell it at $250 a share, guess what? You can sell it at $250 a share. You have the contractual right to do that. That is the benefit of buying a put option as an insurance tool, not just as a investment, not just as a, buying a long option just to make a speculative trade, but as a protective put, a protection in the event the trade goes against you. And that is an insurance tool. Okay. Now there's another way we can do it. I talked about calls just a moment ago. And let's imagine that you shorted Apple. Let's say you're looking at this, you're like, oh man, this thing's all the way up here. I think this thing's going to go down. And you're getting really, overly optimistic that this trade's going to tank. But let's say you short up here, and instead of going down, what if the stock keeps going higher and higher and higher? Well, now you are absolutely terrified. That's actually what your face looks like right there. Yeah. You're terrified. You're like, oh no, I thought it was going down, and instead of going down, it went up. Now, when you short, what do you have to do to get out of the trade? You have to buy to cover. And if the stock has gone up, let's say you shorted it at current price, 268, and let's say the price goes up to 300. You have to buy it at 300 to cover what you shorted at 268. Is there a way we can ensure that? The answer is yeah. There's an option that gives you the right to buy a stock at a specific price. What is that option? It's the call option, right? So looking at this example right here, let's say when you shorted this thing at 268, and that's all hypothetical. I'm not telling anybody to go do this, just hypothetical. Let's say you shorted at 268, but what if at the same time, maybe you came up here to like 275 and you bought a 275 call option that gives you the right to buy at 275. Well, now, if Apple were to take off and if it were to go to 300 or 400 or 500 or 1,000 or 10,000, it doesn't matter. You have the right to buy to cover at 275. That just limited your risk. Now, instead of shorting at 268 and having this unlimited risk in case the trade goes higher, now you've actually limited your risk. Now this trade can go up to 275 or however high it wants to, and the max you could lose on it would be the difference in 275 and 268. You literally bought insurance on your trade. And that's how we use options, specifically in this case, puts and calls, as an insurance tool for our stock trades. So let me sum it up for you here. You can use a put option. You can use a long put, buy a long put as insurance for a long stock trade. And we can buy a long call option as an insurance or as a hedge for a short stock trade. And that's one of the primary tools or primary functions of these tools that we call options. Great. So if you want to learn more about it, all you need to do, guess what? Like and subscribe to the channel. Of course, check out everything we're doing over at trademaestro.com, trademaestro.com. I'll put a link down below. And until next time, I wish you the best. Happy trading. We'll talk to you soon.